If you're a millennial, you probably think Social Security is going to be gone by the time you retire.
Social Security's in trouble.
The program is quickly running out of cash.
Millennials and younger don't believe that they're going to see a penny of Social Security.
But despite all the doomsday headlines, Social Security isn't going anywhere. But there's a strong possibility that that benefit is way less than you anticipate. It could be 25% smaller than what you've been promised. I'm Terrell Higgins, and in a world filled with information, what you're really looking for is transformation. And today we have to have an honest conversation about the future of Social Security in the United States and what that means for your retirement. Politicians are going to argue about potential solutions, but your financial security is actually hanging in the balance. And if you don't understand what's coming, you can't plan for a sound retirement. So let's break it all down and help you get ready. So here's what's actually happening. By the year 2034, the Social Security Trust Fund runs out of money. This isn't the actual Social Security program, it's just the extra money that they've been storing up. Think of it kind of like Netflix and their content budget. If their content budget runs out of money, they don't cancel the show. You just don't get all the seasons that were promised. Same thing with Social Security. This trust fund goes away. Now they can't give the full Social Security benefit. The only way they're funding the program is from the incoming payroll taxes. And those payroll taxes are only going to cover about 82% of the benefit. And by the time you're deep in retirement in the year 2099, those payroll taxes are only projected to cover about 71% of your taxes. So to make it real, if you're expecting a $2,000 Social Security check, it may actually only be $1,600 a month. So why is this happening? It isn't because of some government conspiracy or politicians raiding Social Security. It's just basic math that's been building for decades. So you remember the baby boomers? They are all retiring and they are living longer than any other generation. Back in 1960, there were actually 5 workers to every 1 retiree who was drawing a Social Security benefit. These days, there's only 2.8 workers for every 1 retiree drawing a Social Security benefit. And by the time you retire, it could be even less. And the program was designed for people to work for about 40 years and be retired for about 10. But now people are staying retired for 20 to 30 years. The math doesn't work. And you remember those payroll taxes we talked about? If you make more than $168,000 a year, anything past $168,000 doesn't get paid as taxes into Social Security. So as these Social Security benefits rise with inflation, the revenue that the program's taking in just can't keep pace. And some government policies have actually made the problem worse. In January of 2025, Congress passed the Social Security Fairness Act, and that sounds great, but it promised additional benefits to public workers, and that's money that the system just doesn't have. It's like adding more streaming services when you're struggling to pay for the ones you already have. Many politicians are going to promise that they have a magical solution to this problem, but there's really only 2 solutions. You either bring in more money or you pay out less. And bringing in more money means raising taxes. So that payroll tax could go up 1 to 2%. They could remove the cap on income. So wealthy individuals will pay Social Security taxes on all the income that they're bringing in, Or we could figure out a creative way to tax investment income. And paying less out means cutting the Social Security benefit. So full retirement age could move from 67 to 69. Maybe those inflation adjustments that happen with Social Security could be smaller, so you don't pay as much money out of the system. Or maybe they could do a means test to Social Security. So if you're wealthy, you get less of a benefit from Social Security, or it goes away entirely if you have a certain level of net worth or savings. In reality, it's probably going to be a combination of both. Maybe 60% increase in taxes, a 40% cut in benefits. No one exactly gets what they want, but the program stays afloat. So what does this mean for your actual bank account? There's really only 3 scenarios that can play out. The first scenario is that no reform happens, and your Social Security benefit is going to get cut by 20 to 25%. No one really wants to see that happen, so this is probably the least likely scenario. The second scenario is heavy tax reform. So you could see your payroll taxes going up 1 to 2%, and you're going to be paying more into taxes across your working career. And if you are well off and you make above $168,000 a year, you're going to be paying significantly more into taxes across your working life. And then the third scenario is cutting benefits. So they could raise the full retirement age to 68 or 69, or they could potentially trim those inflation adjustments to Social Security. So Social Security was designed to replace about 40% of your pre-retirement income. And with those changes, it may only replace about 30%. That is a big adjustment in your retirement plan. So if you were planning on Social Security covering 40% of your retirement income, it's time to recalibrate. Let's say you need $60,000 in retirement. And under the old assumptions, Social Security was going to cover 40% of that income need. That's $24,000. And from your nest egg, your savings and retirement accounts, you just needed to cover $36,000. And using the 4% rule, that's a nest egg of $900,000 to meet that income need. Now, if your Social Security benefit gets cut to only covering 30% of what your income needs are, now your nest egg has to be bigger because it has to cover $42,000 a year, which means you had to save $1.05 million. This could be several more years of working or investing more aggressively to reach that goal. So what do you actually need to do here? The first thing is to stop considering Social Security a major pillar of your retirement. It's a bonus, not the foundation. So you need to supercharge your 401k. First order of business is getting the employer match in your 401k, whatever that percentage is. And if you can, max it out. In 2025, you can contribute $23,500. And if you're over 50, you can contribute an additional $7,500. This will supercharge your savings and give you a very strong nest egg for retirement. Then you can utilize tax advantage accounts. So if retirement benefits get means tested in the future, having a Roth account could be very useful. Those Roth benefits are not considered taxable income, it would not count against you if they means test. So it might give you a larger Social Security benefit. The other thing you could do is if you have access to an HSA, those are triple tax advantage. The money comes in pre-tax, it grows tax-free, and you can spend it on qualified medical benefits and not pay any taxes. You could also consider making multiple income streams for yourself in retirement. So maybe this is buying an investment property that is paying out income for you. Maybe it's getting a part-time job in retirement, or accumulating a bundle of dividend-paying stocks to generate recurring income for yourself in retirement. And then the uncomfortable thing, maybe you could just plan to work longer. Deferring your retirement date means that you need less money saved, and it means that if you can delay when you actually draw that benefit, you can actually get more money. So right now, 67 is the full retirement age, but every year you wait increases your benefit by about 8%, all the way up to age 70. So if you can defer when you actually draw your benefit, you could get a larger benefit. So instead of getting that smaller 30% benefit, maybe delaying will give you the actual income that you need. But retirement is very complicated business, and you should not leave it to a back of the envelope calculation or an Excel sheet. You should use software just like the pros do. And my favorite DIY software for retirement planning is Bolden. And I have a link to it in the comments down below. But Bolden lets you plan for retirement like the pros. You can plug in your actual Social Security benefit from the SSA website, and you can run various what-if scenarios. You can reduce that benefit and see how your chances change in retirement, and you will be able to plan with confidence around all the different scenarios that we've discussed in today's video. And here's the thing about all of this. Time is either your best friend or your worst enemy. If you're 30 something and you have 30 plus years to make adjustments to your retirement plan, you're probably going to be fine. But if you're 50 something and you have not been saving aggressively for retirement, it might be time to take a hard look at what you can do before 2034, because a 20 to 25% reduction to your benefits could be life altering. And that may mean that you might want to delay actual retirement, or you may want to consider drawing your Social Security benefit later. So there's a lot of factors that go into deciding at what age you should draw Social Security. And if you guys want a full video on that, leave it in the comments down below. But if you withdraw your Social Security early at age 62, your benefit is going to be permanently reduced across your retirement. And then if you wait to your full Social Security age, which is for most people age 67, you're going to get 100% of your benefit. But if you can wait, then you will get your maximum possible benefit by waiting to age 70. And if the benefits start to get reduced, waiting to age 70 might become more attractive. This is why actual modeling with software like Bolden is very important, because your individual circumstances really, really matter. So Social Security isn't going anywhere, but it's not going to be the same safety net that your parents were counting on. You have to prepare for reality where your Social Security benefits are smaller. And ironically, by planning for a smaller Social Security benefit and funding more of your actual retirement, your retirement's probably going to end up being better than banking on the government to take care of you. So the choice is yours. You could prepare now and put in the work, or hope that politicians figure it out by 2034. I know which one that I'm betting on. And if you found today's video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel because I'll be transforming your finances every single week. Keep getting 1% better every day, and I'll catch you in the next video.